Good morning and thank you for joining us for today's customer webinar. My name is John Ruder. I'm an account manager here at AMS and will be presenting today. I also have Richard Spinks with me, who is our technical manager and will answer any of your technical questions that you may have. So the agenda points for today's presentation. Firstly, I'm going to reintroduce you to AMS and OpenText, who manufacture all of our solutions. We're going to talk about some of the new technologies that are influencing the products available. I'm then going to talk about all of the options that we have available to us here at AMS, followed by the opportunity for bespoke development with our in-house development team, followed by a summary and then any questions that you do have. If you do have any questions, then please use the dialog box at the bottom of your screen, and then we'll do our best to answer them at the end of the presentation. So a little bit about AMS and OpenText. The majority of you are existing AMS customers, so know all about us. But we have over 20 years experience in the fax and business-to-business communications sector. OpenText manufacture all of the products, as I said earlier. You may or may not have heard of them, but they're a billion-dollar corporation based out of the US. They specialize in ECM, information exchange, and fax server solutions. And they're by far and away the #1 fax server vendor in the world. We have a very good relationship with OpenText. We're platinum partners, and we have the top-level approved service provider partnership with them. So between us, they have obviously lots of clout financially and with their products, and we have a lot of experience in the fax server market. Just to give you a bit of background about the fax server market, a recent independent report was done, and this shows that the market's expected to grow to $700 million by 2016. This is a 12.1% increase, growth increase. So as you can see, there's still legs in the fax server market. So I wanted to touch on some of the new technologies that are influencing the products that we have available. The first two are Fax Over IP and Virtualization. As a customer, you may have moved to an IP network, IP telephony. You may be looking to move in that direction. But the opportunity there is to obviously standardize on an IP platform for all communication, and obviously we can bring fax into that as well. This gives you the opportunity to get rid of all of your traditional telephony, whether it's analog, ISDN or E1 connections, and obviously the dedicated hardware to host that telephony. This will lead to a lower cost of ownership and ultimately reduce the management resource of having to deal with that traditional telephony. We find this is a real motivation for our customers that are moving to an IP network. Virtualization follows on neatly from this. Again, for the same reasons, it gives you the opportunity to consolidate, simplify, and reduce the costs of your IT infrastructure. A lot of you will have the appliance-based solutions, so if there is a potential issue around that, it is the fact that you're reliant on hardware. If you have the opportunity to virtualize the software, then it does give you numerous options around high availability and redundancy, which I'll touch on a bit later. We're also seeing that integrations and fax automation is real growth in our particular industry. Most of you will have some kind of integration with your fax appliance, but with the new software, we have real native connectors into numerous existing applications, whether it be Exchange, SharePoint, LiveLink, for example. And this isn't just one-way communication. It's usually a two-way communication, giving you access to the back-end database of these applications. So it gives you real opportunity to streamline your processes, improve audit trail, and just generally get a neater, tighter integration with your existing applications. Leading on from this, fax automation is also a real opportunity. We can integrate with many back-office systems, Oracle, SAP, really any kind of host system. A number of our customers are obviously looking to move away from having process-driven production of large batch documents. So it gives them the opportunity to reduce those document delivery costs. We all know that postage costs are going up significantly. We can increase productivity, move the users away from the manual processes involved there, and ultimately we can ensure security, give audit trail to prove compliance, which again is a real benefit. And with a lot of technology these days, cloud is becoming a real opportunity. Fax is no different. Similar reasons, we can reduce total cost of ownership, we can reduce IT overhead so that your IT staff aren't having to learn new technology, manage software, manage hardware, for example. We can base all of the solution in the cloud. From a cloud fax point of view, this gives you real options around high availability because you're not relying on local telephony or hardware. And also from a capacity point of view, whether you're looking to send 10,000 faxes in half an hour or one, there is no real issue there because there is no limit on the number of channels as it's based in the cloud. We can provide flexible functionality dependent on your requirement. And for those of you that have concerns around data sovereignty, all of our data centers are hosted in the UK, so there is no issue there. Going back to that report that I talked about earlier, they see real growth in the cloud fax service market, 17.9% growth by 2017. So these are some of the technologies and the main technologies that are influencing our market. I wanted to give you a high-level overview of all of the options available to us at AMS. As you can see, we can offer real flexibility. We still have the fax appliance range, which is obviously an on-premise solution. We have the entire portfolio of the RightFax software available to us. This is very, very flexible. So you can have a solution on-premise, you could have a completely hosted RightFax solution, or you could have it in a hybrid environment where perhaps you have the RightFax software locally and then host the telephony in the cloud. We also have a cloud fax service available to us. This isn't based on the RightFax platform, but it does give you a slight difference in the fact that it's a cost per page and you get all the benefits that we talked about in terms of cloud fax earlier. So this should show you the flexibility and the options available to us and to you as potential customers. So I wanted to touch on these options in a little bit more detail. The majority of you, as I say, are already existing fax appliance customers of ours, so you know the benefits of this solution. For those of you that have the 2500 range or the 5000 range that still rely on master file servers, all of our new solutions are truly all-in-one appliances, so you don't need to worry about that. You still get single vendor support and installation through AMS. I'm sure you can all vouch for how robust and reliable the appliances are. You also get good integration tools with email, with multifunction printers and back office systems. The only real limitation around the appliance is the fact that it's traditional telephony. So it's plugging into analog E1 or ISDN2E connections. And then if you do have concerns over resilience, then again, that may be a slight concern. But for those of you that still use traditional telephony, not too concerned about the resilience, then the appliance is still a very relevant product. But RightFax really is where we see the growth in our particular industry. RightFax is a software-only solution. We fully integrate with IP telephony. We can still integrate with traditional telephony, and I'll touch on that shortly. But we have full interoperability with all of the major brands in the market, whether they're Cisco, Avaya, ShoreTel, for example, so we can leverage the benefits that I described earlier. Again, similarly with virtualization, it's fully supported with the RightFax software using the Dialogic Brooktrail SR140 software, which is essentially a boardless fax board. We integrate with the major brands in the market in terms of VMware and Hyper-V, and again, they give you those resilience options and consolidation options that virtualization will deliver. So we see this as two real reasons why some of our customers will look to move from the appliance to RightFax. I think this slide summarizes the flexibility of RightFax from a telephony point of view. So you may have multiple sites all using different telephony. So you have site 1, for example, may use traditional telephony, analog, ISDN. We can happily plug that into a media gateway that sits locally, and then this will convert it into IP into our central RightFax solution. You could have a second site, for example, that natively connects into SIP trunks or an IP PBX. Again, no problem. We have full integration with this and can connect centrally. And for those of you that may want to or are interested in hosting your telephony in the cloud, again, that's no issue with RightFax. That can all be pointed to a central RightFax solution. So it does give you real options around here. I wanted to touch on how RightFax is licensed. From a channel point of view, it's very similar to the appliance. We understand, obviously, the volume of fax that you guys have, and that dictates the number of channels that you need as an organization. There's no user licensing at all, so it's the number of channels and it's the modules that you need to actually enforce what it is you're looking to achieve. So if you want to connect into SharePoint, then there's a SharePoint module. If you want Exchange integration, then again, there's an Exchange connector. We also have numerous connections with multifunction printers. The majority of you are probably using generic SMTP to integrate with your multifunction printers. The benefit there is that you don't need to have fax cards in the device. You don't need to worry about telephony plugged into the back of the devices. But with WriteFax, we have what we call advanced connectors. This gives you the opportunity to have a fax button at the device. You can access phone books, you can access cover pages, you can authenticate at the device. So it really gives you advanced options and potentially actually gives an increased ease of use for your users. So this is a number of the connectors. We do have many, many more. So we'll work with you to understand what your requirement is and deliver the tailored solution to meet those needs. So why is WriteFax the leader in enterprise fax? Well, I think, again, this summarizes that nicely. You have all of these major brands throughout the world, these MFP, ERP, VoIP, and ECM brands. They have all developed connectors, spent a lot of money and time investing in creating connectors into the WriteFax product. They can see it's reliable, it's robust, it's intuitive, and they want to be associated with the WriteFax product. So this should reassure you that the WriteFax is a very good solution with really, really good integration tools. I touched on redundancy earlier and the potential limitations around having a hardware appliance. With WriteFax, you can essentially have whatever level of resilience you need as an organization. You can have a single service solution. You can have a shared services environment where you can have multiple WriteFax servers pointing to shared resource. You can use the tools within virtualization, which is very popular. So you can manually restore the image, or you could use something like vMotion, for example, to automatically restore the image. Again, we will work with you to try and understand what your requirement is around redundancy and then propose the right solution for you. You may or may not know that AMS employ an in-house development team. This is here to deliver bespoke solutions to meet specific customer requirements, whether it's enhancements to FaxPress, to WriteFax functionality, whether you want to integrate with off-the-shelf solutions like SAP or Oracle or anything like that. We can also set up standalone projects. So if you have a particular business problem or process issue that you're struggling to resolve, then please get in touch with us and maybe our development team can design something that will help alleviate that issue. So I have a couple of examples here. We had a customer that wanted to automate document delivery from their accounting package. We developed what we called AMS Output Manager. This enabled the customer to automatically print from the accounting package. Our solution read the embedded metadata within that document to deliver them automatically as a fax, email, or to be printed. So it really streamlined the process from that accounting package. We had another customer that wanted us to develop a bespoke client application for them to use within their call center environment. They wanted a graphical representation of their faxes so that they could monitor in real time their inbound faxes using a check-in, check-out process. So again, this streamlined their monitoring of inbound faxes and the actioning of those documents. So we're quite happy to investigate any issues you have and see if we can develop solutions for that. We're coming to the end of this webinar today, but I wanted to highlight some of the other things that AMS do. Obviously, I've focused predominantly on the fax server market here, but we also have numerous products within what we call information exchange. We have notification products that will automate notifications using text message, voice, email, fax. We have managed file transfer products, output management, and EDI. So if you have any kind of interest in any of these areas, again, please get in touch and we'll be happy to talk you through it. So in summary, AMS specialises in fax and business-to-business communication. We truly do have a product portfolio to suit all requirements, whether that's fax server, on-premise, hosted, or in a hybrid environment, or any kind of development, bespoke development opportunities. And as I described earlier, the technology in this market has changed, it has evolved, and we really do have fax solutions that have evolved with that to add value to what you are looking to achieve. So I'm just going to see if we've had any questions through today. I can see we've got a couple here. So what is the cost of the upgrade from FaxPress? Well, it's difficult to say without knowing your requirements. So what I would suggest is that you talk to your account manager. They'll work with you to identify what it is that you're looking to achieve, and then we can come up with a proposal. But just to let you know, we do offer trade-in discounts on the old appliances, so there is an opportunity to save some money on any new solution that you buy through AMS. A couple of others. We have an Avaya IP switch on version 5. Can we use WriteFax? I'll probably point that over to Rich.
Yeah, absolutely. So WriteFax supports Avaya Communication Manager version 4 all the way up to the latest firmware version. So it really shouldn't be a problem. We've got a tech note describing how we integrate on each firmware platform as well. So answer to that is yes.
Great, thanks a lot. Final question. We use drop directory with FaxPress. Will this work with WriteFax? Again, I think I'll hand back to Rich on that one.
Yes, we can. We've actually got two options within WriteFax. So we have integrated module that a professional development team created, which is a direct replacement for the FaxPress drop directory. So it offers exactly the same functionality, uses the same parameters and commands, so it's just a sort of direct replacement. And there's also a built-in module within WriteFax that we can use that again will allow you to use the drop directory method, but also adds a bit more functionality. So you can do clever things like send text messages, emails to it, maybe add overlays or modify the actual document that you're dropping in.
Okay, thanks. I can see what is required technically for Cloud Fax. Is it just SMTP connection, SIP, or other? Rich?
Well, we have different cloud options. So we have hosted telephony. So that's kind of like a hybrid environment where we have our WriteFax solution software still on-premise, but all the telephony is up in the cloud. And basically WriteFax connects to our cloud platform, our telephony platform, via API. We also have a complete hosted solution in the cloud, which we call WriteFax on Demand, and that's where you have an instance, your own instance of WriteFax dedicated to you within a data center in the cloud, and you would connect still using all your client applications, print drivers, web client browsers, just over a secure maybe VPN connection or something like that to your instance. Or we have Cloud Fax, which basically is SMTP. So you would send a fax doing number at a certain domain, and all your inbound faxes would then come in via email as well. You'd also have a web portal. So we have a few options.
Okay, thank you. Is WriteFax replacing the FaxPress product? No, that isn't the case. I mean, it's essentially a different market area. For those that are interested in dealing with, as I say, traditional telephony, not too concerned about resilience, then the Fax Appliance product it fits very, very well there. For all of the other reasons I discussed, then WriteFax is a good product. So it very much depends on the requirement, but no, I wouldn't say that FaxPress WriteFax is replacing FaxPress. It's just another one of our product lines. I can see where the telephony is customer-based. Do they use their DDIs or yours? Rich?
Okay, I think I understand what you're asking there. If WriteFax is on-premise, then obviously we'll use the customer's DDIs. If we're talking about a cloud solution, then we can obviously assign new numbers. They can be any numbers, toll-free numbers for your country, or numbers, across the sort of 40 countries that we can designate numbers to. If the customer wants to use their own existing DDI numbers, which is often the case in a cloud solution, then we have different ways of doing that. So we can port over the numbers for the customer, so they can continue using their existing fax numbers, or we can set up like redirects and things like that. So that, again, there's a few different options.
Okay. Can you expand on the managed file transfer systems you have? Again, Rich?
Yep, so within WriteFax we have a module called Secure Docs, and that works alongside the sort of WriteFax as a faxing solution. So basically it allows users to send documents in encrypted format to their customers. What the customer will get is like an email notification to say somebody's trying to send you, like a large document or something like that. They will then register with the web portal and be able to download the file. That's like an on-premise solution and requires WriteFax. We also have a cloud platform for managed file transfer that we call SecureX. I don't know, John, if you could expand on SecureX at all.
Yeah, sure. So SecureX is an open text product, and essentially it's to try and replace all of the fragmented products within the market. They see it as a cloud-based secure document transfer solution, but also a collaboration tool. So for those of you that want to communicate around secure documents, then it seems to be a very good product. It's difficult to expand on this right now, but Jason, I think we'll be happy to talk you through all of the options available. We do have several products from OpenText that can be encompassed in managed file transfer, so we'll get in touch with you and go through it in a bit more detail. I think we've got one more question. Can you integrate Active Directory into FaxPress, or is this for WriteFax only? Rich?
Yeah, absolutely. So both products support Active Directory integration. With WriteFax, we can sync with multiple Active Directory domains. We can look at OUs or groups to pull in users. With FaxPress, we can only sync with one AD domain. And we look at just groups with an AD, but both are capable of that. And once synced with Active Directory, they obviously support sort of single sign-on to any sort of client application you might be using with them.
Okay, it looks like that's all the questions we've had. So just an action point from today's webinar. Please contact your account manager for your account review. We'll be happy to talk you through what your existing requirement is, what you're potentially looking to do in the future. I'm sure our account manager will get in touch with you anyway, but that's really what we hope to do from today. So really appreciate your time and have a good day. Thank you.